Hey, what's up everybody? Nick from Fly Guys here, and in today's video, we're gonna talk about the quintessential real estate shoot with your drone. So we're actually at a commercial job. We got a real estate listing here. I'm gonna go through the different aspects of shooting it and hopefully get you guys all learned up. So we're at the listing, we're getting ready to put the drone up in the air. Before we do, I wanted to explain a little bit of the pre-planning that I generally do, which I started last night, so let's check that out real quick.
Okay, so my drone batteries are charging up for our real estate shoot tomorrow. And while that's happening, I want to do a little pre-mission planning if possible. So I typed in the address that we're going to be shooting tomorrow into Google Earth, and it's taking us there right now. Google Earth is one of the best tools that we can use as drone pilots to get a sort of a lay of the land ahead of the time we're actually going to be filming. So here's the address. I'm going to zoom out a little bit just to see the surrounding areas. I always like to look at that first. So we can see we're right on the coast. There's the house. Here's the coast. So we have a nice beach right here. We've got the ocean. Looks like we have a wharf right here. It looks like over here we have a park or something, some waves. So those are going to be some really nice features to shoot in addition to the actual property. So now let's zoom in and actually take a look at the house. The realtor told me a little bit about it, but you know, it's nice to actually see what you're going to be looking at tomorrow. So here's a little bit of a drone's eye view. So as if we were a few hundred feet in the air. So here's the house. It is packed in pretty tight, it looks like, with the other houses, but not too bad. So yeah, I'm only one house over from that ocean, and it looks like I might have an ocean view somewhere in there. So we've got a little bit of a front yard, a little bit of a backyard. Nice little neighborhood, nice little streets. So yeah, that'll give me some good information so I can plan and sort of do some pre-production in my head for our shoot tomorrow.
So before we put the drone in the air, I just want to touch on a couple quick points that will make your shoot go a little bit better. One is respect for the neighbors. So I'm sure you could imagine people don't really like the idea of drones buzzing over their house. A lot of times they think you might be spying on them or whatever. So above all, let's be respectful of the neighbors. I generally, when I'm doing these things, I try to be pretty fast. If somebody comes up to me and asks me questions, I try to be as polite as possible. I actually set signs that say doing drone filming, and I generally wear a safety vest because when people see you in an orange or yellow vest, you look official, they're less likely to think you're doing something that you shouldn't be doing. Okay, so we have the drone up in the air, and we're just gonna kind of go through the shots that we do for just like the typical real estate video. This one is on the coast of California. So we're going to be featuring a lot of the surrounding area. So we're going to start with what we call an establishing shot. That essentially establishes the scene. You generally want to be high up in the air, a big wide shot of the surroundings, the neighborhood, something to that effect. In this video, since we're out over the Pacific Ocean, I'm going to start with the beach. I'm going to hit the record button. I'm actually just going to do like a little bit of a pan to the right, just kind of get the whole coastline, the beach, the wharf, the boardwalk. And this should set the stage pretty nicely. Okay, so that's a pretty good one. I will probably flip the drone around the other way, just so you can kind of see the neighborhood and you can still see the ocean in the background. So now we're hitting the record button here, getting a shot of the neighborhood. Now it's a pretty windy day out, so I'm kind of being mindful of you know, how the wind is affecting the drone, but it looks now like it's holding pretty well. So that's kind of a nice shot of the neighborhood. Maybe I'll back it up a little bit. Kind of just get this nice wide establishing shot.
So now that we've captured those really nice establishing shots of the ocean and the surrounding areas, we have the drone facing away from the house, out towards the ocean, and it is time to introduce the subject of this video, which is the property. So in cinematography, this is called the reveal shot. For this one, since it's so close to the ocean, I just wanted to get a really nice backward shot flying back from the ocean of the house. There it is, it comes into the picture, and that's the house for sale. That's the reveal shot.
So I generally feel like shooting things straight on does not look as interesting as when you shoot things at an angle. So in this case, I've got the house framed up at an angle. I'm going to hit the record button. I'm just going to kind of maybe like pull back a little bit, I'm gonna go forward a little bit. Then maybe I'll bring it over, get from the other side.
Same thing, I'm gonna go forward a bit. I'm gonna go backward a bit. And it's really windy. We're just gonna try and keep it as smooth as possible.
Another thing we like to do here is I usually just like to do like a nice little rise where you can see the surroundings. If you saw our last video, we talked about the rule of thirds. We're trying to keep that horizon in the top third.
So now we're getting a nice high orbit shot of the property in relation to the other houses on the block. When you're doing these kinds of real estate promo videos, you just really want to get as much variety as you possibly can with the shots. So forward, backward, low, high, orbit left, orbit right, far, close, that kind of stuff. You might end up using it, you might not, but it's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it.
One thing that this drone does really well, in addition to flying, is it works really well as just a walking gimbal. So we're gonna do a shot that you see in a lot of real estate videos, the quintessential opening the door shot, where you have somebody inside opening the door, you walk through with the drone. So I'm gonna show you what that looks like right now.
So the key to this shot is just being really smooth about how you walk. Basically heel toe, heel toe. Here's a shot of what it looks like from the actual drone footage. You can see the door opens really smooth, and it just makes kind of a nice segue from outside shots to inside shots if your video is going to include those.
Okay, so we've pretty much completed filming at the property with the drone. The last thing I want to do is I want to go around with either a ground camera, or in this case, I'm going to use my iPhone 8 Plus because it's got a pretty good camera on it. And I actually just want to grab a couple, close-up detail shots because it makes a nice B-roll. And also in these videos, it's kind of nice to cut to things like flowers or, a tree blowing in the wind or something like that. In addition to the drone footage, it kind of mixes it up nicely. So let's do that right now. So we finished filming here at the property. Now we're just going to go drive around, do the fun stuff, find some cool stuff to film. I know there probably will be surfers, and there's the boardwalk. The boats are probably out since it's a windy day. So let's go do that.
So after being at the property, we went around to film some of the surrounding areas because that is really the highlight of this property. So we got like the main beach, we got some street signs and everything, which is always nice if you can throw those in. We got a statue of a surfer. We got a person surfing. There was a big long wharf there that we got a shot of. There's the world famous Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk that we held the phone out of the car to get that shot. We went to a local campground. So we really just tried to feature a bunch of the surrounding areas to augment this video.
Okay, so that's a wrap. We finished filming the property. We filmed the surrounding areas. I think we've got a lot of nice footage to put together. A couple closing thoughts I wanted to mention before we close out is one, it's always going to be better to keep it simple when you're filming. Simple shots just look so much better than shots where you try to get too complicated. So don't move the camera too much, not too many pans, Another thing is stay safe when you're flying. So today, the wind was gusting really hard. I've been doing this a long time, so I won't go outside of my comfort level. But my comfort level is very defined, so I suggest you define your comfort level. Don't fly outside of it. Lastly, I would say, just as a general rule of thumb, when you're shooting a real estate video, or any video for that matter, before you even start shooting, picture the end product in your mind. That will give you a much better basis to film. So, hope you enjoyed this video. Hope it helps. See you in the next one, folks.